And this next one, y'all, wow, it is a doozy. And I do mean by the title, one of the scummiest teams I have ever seen in, well, any esport out there. This one pertaining to CSGO has now been called out by EliGE and other pros, including Simple. They have now been fired and let go. Their contracts terminated by their organization, of whom the owner of Depth Esports I did shortly talk to. A very, very unfortunate circumstance for an owner who, by the way, signed these players just less than 3 weeks ago. He has told me and apologized, obviously, for the lack of background research of these players, and by the way, had no idea of their ongoings behind the scenes, as well as in Pug Play and as well as on the FACEIT servers. I would say the more so worrying part and concerning part about this is how long these players lasted on FACEIT inside FPL, and as well with all of these players fully knowing of their wrongdoings. They have now all been let go by the organization, of which yet again they were signed just 3 weeks ago, and it seems that their racial and homophobic and other slurs they do use stretch back way before all of this. Now called out by EliGE and other pros, they have been let go and are living up to, sadly, one of the scummiest teams I have ever seen in CSGO. As it was actually in a definitely a tweet that took off there on Twitter as well about a Team Depth member, former member, I should say, Snav, where he looks at the profile picture of someone who he's talking to in game. He says, "Nice profile picture," and then says to the player, "You were probably not R-worded as a kid." Obviously very inappropriate. There are other clips out there as well about this guy, which probably aren't that bad of clips. And by the way, he goes on to say that same phrase a couple of times in that chat, which is obviously very inappropriate. That's just the start of things. There are other clips out there of this member being Snav, which again are probably not that bad, but do showcase the toxicity, the general toxicity, which is obviously there with this player.
He's CT. He's heaven. Posted on me. Don't move. Nice.
He told me not to move. This little dumbass bitch. Oh.
You're so useless, man.
What the frick is wrong with this guy? Holy shit.
Why do you even play, Blue? Do you have fun?
Yeah. I'm trying my
It's
best.
just like watching like the game or something, because you seem like you like understand it like a little bit, but like you're just horrible, so you just shouldn't play.
Oh, okay, that's pretty mean, but
That's pretty mean.
why do I have to listen to this, dude?
And then EliGE jumps in, and this is where it gets very bad for this lineup, who has now been removed, saying, "LMAO, all the players that I've played against in Pugs from Depth have been complete scum, saying terrible crap. Crazy any of them are the level they are, pretty much all of them, so at least trash sticks together." And he later replies to Prius saying they are not even in esports, they're only there because all the other players have left. Then EliGE again goes later saying, "Dang, I actually didn't know all the Timbermen or Depth Esports MDL kids were in FPL. Some of the most toxic, racist people I've ever come across in my life in Pugs. If any FACEIT admins looked at any of the chat logs in Pugs, you'd be floored by the crap they say. Yikes." Then even Simple replies, getting involved and saying that's why they will always be trash. And then EliGE takes the time to link over a dozen screenshots of Depth members, former Depth members, using homophobic, racist, and several other slurs and chat logs, as well as again heavily in Discord messages. And it's pretty bad looking over the entire file. I'm not going to showcase to you guys all of the screenshots, only very few of them. And again, like I said before, if you want to check out EliGE's Twitter, there are over a dozen screenshots with multiple different types of slurs being used by these members, who have now been released by the team and also dismissed permanently from the FACEIT Pro League, or FPL. As Depth Esports did announce, they had actually removed the entire lineup, and their contracts have all been terminated from the team, as well as FACEIT manager also announcing their removal from FPL with no chance to be readmitted. I feel like I almost need to say it. The same FACEIT manager who previously was saying that those messages in the chat logs we first talked about in that tweet that took off, well, those messages were actually provoked by the person who took those screenshots. And I understand he said there was obviously, no reason for them to say those cruel things, but I don't know why he mentioned they were provoked into saying those things. Clearly, he had not seen their previous chat logs on FPL, of which they have now been removed. I just not a good look to say that, oh, they said these terrible things, but they were provoked into saying them. So I just probably shouldn't have been mentioned in the first place, at least in my opinion. Obviously, no hate going their way. They have made the right move to remove these guys and the entire lineup from FPL permanently. That's a great choice to make. You know, it makes you curious why it took a couple of top tier players to call them out for you to realize they had been so cruel on your platform. So certainly some of the scummiest players, and of course all be on the same team. This makes it a pretty wild story. The right decision has been made both by the esports organization who signed them, as well as by FPL who enrolled them. They have been removed from both those platforms, and seemingly, you know, this is what it comes down to, right? We are looking towards the lower tier of these CSGO players out there, and these guys have seemingly ruined their entire futures because they didn't know what to and what should not be said. So obviously the right decision was made. It's crazy and sucky to realize that there are players out there like this. What do you guys think? Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Drink some water, drink some coffee. Huge shouts to EliGE on exposing all of this. Certainly a huge move from him, and nothing might have been done unless he did do that. So until next time, take care. I'll catch you guys back here sometime soon.